My lords, ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome. We're now on episode number 8 of our passenger only Transport Fever 2 series. Nearly in double digits already. Wow, we are making some pretty good progress here. So today's episode is going to be primarily focused on some line cleaning and overhauling. Excuse the flickering textures there on the highlighted station. This is Thurrock Station. Obviously a very unique looking station we have on our map indeed. Now, as part of our line maintenance and cleanup, what we're going to do is look at where we can put in some additional auxiliary services on our existing lines and stations where possible. Some of our stations we might have to make some amendments in terms of expanding the amount of platforms that we have available. I would like to do Thurrock, but given the custom buildings that it has, it might take a bit of work, so I'm leaning towards doing the Thurrock station off camera. However, the stations where we're just using the generic station buildings and we've not done anything additional or fancy to them, we can certainly get those done on camera because they should be pretty straightforward and wouldn't involve too much by way of demolition and rebuilding. So let's bring up the user interface. 22,1967. And before we get started, there's one thing I want to point out. I've gone ahead and revamped the naming system for the branch and commuter lines. I'll bring up this window here so we can see them all. I've got it filtered by train only. So where the branch name can be fitted comfortably, or it can fit comfortably, is a bit more grammatically correct way to say that. I've just gone ahead and named the town. So for instance, this branch that comes Rugby Thurrock to Staveley, we've got no dramas fitting that enemy. It does overrun this what's the word I'm looking for, this column width, but however we can fit it all in without it truncating the branch name. So we've got the Rugby Thurrock and Staveley branch. Obviously the main line stays the same, that's fine. Similarly this just goes Rugby to Hull, so there's no need to change that. However this fairly big branch line that we have, what comes all over the shop down this part of the map. If we have a look here on the managed line, we call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate stations before making our way back. So what I've done is I've taken the first letter from the town name. Where we have two towns with the same name in the map, for example here we have Staveley and Sheffield, I've included the second letter as a bit of a differentiator there. So this one, Carlisle, Leeds, Staveley, Thurrock, Hull, and this one is Hull, Thurrock, Sheffield and Leeds. That should make it a bit clearer as to where each line is headed. Obviously the north-south main line we have to basically use our memory, but we want to keep that sort of name there. Where it is at all possible, we'll use full names like here and here, but trying to type all of that into here, the line name would be about 500 characters long, probably a bit too long. So that's what I'm sticking with for now. That's not set in stone as the final approach that we're going to take, but I figured it would come in some use, especially for this episode, when we're looking where we can revamp and reintroduce some auxiliary services. Now the way we're going to do it is we're going to visit these busy stations. That's Carlisle, Leeds is busy, Thurrock is quite busy, Rugby's okay, Hull's okay, Staveley is okay, Sheffield's just getting started, but for now it's okay. Essentially it's the ones where we've got these extra large icons, so that'll be Carlisle, Leeds and Thurrock for the time being. There's not much we can do with the main line at the moment, so we'll leave that. So for instance, if we pick on Leeds, we can see the vast majority of our passengers are looking to travel on the Carlisle, Leeds, Staveley, Thurrock and Hull service, and of that majority, the majority are going to Staveley. So that would lend me to believe, why don't we have a service, like a small service, that perhaps runs Carlisle, Leeds and Staveley and back. So just a little up and down like that, nothing too spectacular. It should encourage, hopefully, that's the theory anyway, but it remains to be seen whether it works out logically, people to perhaps opt to take the new service rather than waiting on an overcrowded platform for the Carlisle lead Staveley Thud at Cull branch. Bit of a mouthful, but it's clear where we're going. I mean, this one to Carlisle, it would also help here because as we can see, the vast majority of people boarding the northbound or the branch line via Carlisle are going to Carlisle. It doesn't make much sense to go up there and then ride all the way back down. You're just going to increase your ticket price. Obviously some people are doing that. One person wants to take the scenic route to Hull, which is absolutely fine. It could be because it's overcrowded here, who knows. Of course, another approach to this is to increase our train length on this service. So here's our train at the moment. We can see it's at capacity, which is of no great surprise, especially as we leave this station where we have overcrowding issues. We could revamp this. How many do we have on this line, actually? Just the 2. So let's start off by doing that, but we are going to as well add in the extra services, just because we can, basically. Now, we're still using those older carriages here. We do have the Einheitswagen 2, or the Einheitswagen 2. I'll give up with an attempt at German pronunciations. So if we did that, as we can see, we are sacrificing some acceleration to do this. And if we really wanted to increase the capacity by putting an extra carriage, so that would be 5 in total as opposed to our starting out 4, and then have a look at the numbers here. Yeah, although it's not too bad, it's taken an extra 600 meters to get to top speed on a flat gradient. However, the medium is really where we're going to get punished. We're going from just under 4 kilometers, or 3 3/4 kilometers really on the medium, to over 7 kilometers, and that could be quite telling. So perhaps we can see if we could operate a different locomotive. So we are running the NoHab at the moment, which is this one right here. That one's not a contender because it is too slow. That one is probably too costly. It's over over 500,000 extra per year. I think all of these are too slow, really. Although, what's the power on? Yeah, it's not even got great power for an electric, just 1,000 kilowatts. So they're all just basically reskins there, so we can overlook that. We have this one, the RE44. It does have more power. We sacrificed quite a bit of tractive effort, so when we're getting off from a slow start, or a standing start I should say, we might have some penalties there. But as we can see, even with the increased train length, we're able to get to our top speeds a lot faster across all 3 of the gradients. So maybe we'll do this. We'll replace these trains with this setup. The RE44, only an extra 100,000 or so per year, so not prohibitively more expensive, and we're vastly increasing the maximum train. Well, we're not vastly increasing, we're going from 75 to 78, so it's not a vast improvement at all, is it? Yeah, in fact, while we're here, because we know we're going to go for that anyway, let's experiment with something a little bit different. Let's chuck 5 onto there. So if we did a flat upgrade, which would be that, we can see we're making massive difference there. But what would it look like if we used a steam? For instance, the Mallard, which I think was somewhat unceremoniously binned off after about 10 minutes. How does that do? It's good, but it could be better. But is it worth it for them? I mean, to get extra speed, so that is a consideration. Yeah, maybe we'll go for that then. We'll sacrifice some acceleration for extra speed and give the Mallard a new lease of life on this map, because we really didn't get to enjoy it last time out. It was brought in and then removed in the same episode after all. Let's do that. 25 million to upgrade those. If we wanted to, of course. Oh no, it's more of a purple colour. Yeah, it's a plum sort of colour. Maybe that one. I think that's the ticket right there. Yeah, let's do that for this service then. As I said, we could also add a third train onto the service as well, but for now I think what we'll do is we'll set up that extra branch service from Carlisle down to Staveley. Now Staveley's just had a train leave, which is one of our mallards that have been reintroduced. It looks very nice in that plum colour actually, I do like that. So yeah, this station has just been somewhat emptied, but we can still see the majority of our passengers waiting here are looking to travel this service, and the majority of them are going to Carlisle, as we can see. What about over at Carlisle itself? Well, like I said, the main line we're not going to do anything with it at the moment. We'll come back to that in another episode. And here, yeah, not a lot are going to Hull or Thurrock from here, so having a service from here to here makes sense to me. Now, there is a high chance it's going to negatively impact the financial productivity of this service, the one we've just upgraded, but I think that's the price we're going to have to pay. So let's get ourselves a new line, and we're going Carlisle to Leeds to Staveley, back into Leeds, and then turning around at Carlisle. Let's just check our platform assignments here, because we would like these to make some sense and also not be sharing a platform. So this is where I'm talking about adding an extra platform, so I think we'll do that before we get the train up and running. Let's go ahead and increase the platform sizes here at Leeds. So let's give them another 2 platforms, which is obviously this side here being one of those extra platforms they're going to be able to enjoy, and the platform that's going to run down here in a few moments. We'll just use the generic passenger platform for now. The main reason is sometimes the platform heights are a little bit different from where the people are standing, so they have their ankles swallowed up by the masonry, which is not great for immersion. Right, so we want a veranda on here. What's that one look like? That's quite nice, and it does vary the style a little bit. Now, you do have platforms, or should I say, we do have stations in the United Kingdom where you have different styles across different platforms, so they don't all look perfectly the same. It just shows where they've been modernized at a later date, and I think that's a nice thing to bear in mind and incorporate here, so we can see that this is a new addition to the original station. Okay, so we have that. Now we need to get it all connected in. Now, what am I? Oh, that's a shipyard. No, we don't want to do that. Jesus. Yeah, so getting it all connected in, that's going to be the interesting part, because we've taken up a lot of space here and we're not going to be able to fit anything in prior to the entry point for these 4 platforms. So what we're going to have to do instead is allow the game to determine the track height value, maybe run out to about here and have the service or this platform access occur somewhat down here, so they would separate away from the other incoming trains at an earlier point to make their way over to their assigned platform, like this. What's the overlap like there? Pretty hideous. Let's see if we can do anything with that. I think that's as good as we're going to get it, so we'll accept that. It's certainly better than the original offering. And then bring this chap up here as well. Now what I'm going to do is have these 2 new platforms, so this is platform 5 and 6, be dedicated primarily, well, solely, not primarily, to the new service that we are setting up. So we won't need a diamond, because what we're going to have is the northbound leg will come in on platform 6, and then we'll have the southbound leg come in on platform 5, so there's no need for them to cross over. So that saves a little bit of money, not a great deal, and it's Not the reason why I'm doing it, of course, because the money is negligible that we're saving. So again, we'll run it out by some distance here. Where's our junk? Ah, okay. Maybe we get it in before this set of signals here then. So we'll have quite a sharp crossover here in terms of the angle and the speeds. That's nice. We'll take that. So bring these in. Ooh, what would that look like if I actually had it a little staggered like that? No, it's gone. Has it gone weird there? It's hard to tell with the blue highlight over the top of everything. Is it okay? I think it is. Let's have an offset junction just to be different. How does it look? That looks okay. Okay, right. So the next thing you want to do is consider doing something similar down here at Staveley. What's our platform allocation like here? Do we have anything spare? We do, so we don't need to do that at Staveley at this point. Where do we have to? Oh, I see, yeah, because it calls at Staveley, then calls back in at Staveley. So yeah, that's why there's two different assignments for that one there. Okay, so line 1, as it's very unceremoniously named at the moment, will not share platform 2, but will instead go to platform 4. So we don't need to expand our station there yet. We probably do over here though. Let's have a look. Well, look at that. No, we don't. So it's only Staveley, it's only Leeds that required some expansion. That's okay. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is get some signals for the new junctions we've had to create for these new platforms. So let's get ourselves a signal there, there, and there. Repeat that over here. Let's go signal, let's have it there, and then let's use that one with the little gantry on it there, and then we'll use a 3 aspect here. We've got a very short block there, so I might just push them back a ways. So let's delete that one and move them to about here, just so they're not quite as bunched up as they previously were. So let's go that and that, just to vary the styles. So yep, yep, and yep. So what we can do now is a couple of blocks along here and along here, and then put in our gantry signals at Leeds. So let's have a block about, let's have it about here. We'll use the same signal style there. We don't want them all to be different. And then let's go for that fellow there. You can go there and there. You can go there and there. And let's have different signal styles here. There and there. And I think we should be good. We don't have any signal gantries yet at Leeds, so this will be the first ones that we produce. So let's search for gantry. We want gantry left stand. Let's have, what does, maybe, no, we don't need double. We don't need reverse, unless we put it on the wrong side, but why would you do that? Now we just use the basic ones here, so solid gantry left stand, beg your pardon, and then solid gantry right stand, and then repeat the process down here, so solid gantry right, in fact, no. Nah, this is where we are going to have to use the different styles, of course, because we don't need this this needs to be on this side because we're coming in on the left, aren't we? We'll never drive out this way because we don't cross over. So let's go back to the gantries then. We want right stand reverse like that. That's what we're looking for. And similarly, we want that to be a right stand reverse there. So let's find the collision, the hitbox. There it is. Delete that. Go back into that menu. So you're going there. and left stand regular there. Wonderful. So now we can put the gantry signals on these. We'll have that one there. Yeah, we'll use a 2 aspect for this one because mix it up. And then we'll do something similar down here. Maybe even have a 4-way. Let's go buck wild there. Say 4-way. Of course, mean 4 aspect. Are you attached? Okay, yes you are. And a 3 aspect just there. Okay, that's great. So that's all ready to go. So by my reckoning, we're now ready to, well, give this name, or give this branch a better name. Now I wonder if we can fit all the town names in without having to use the abbreviations. Let's see. Whoops. It would help if we could spell branch. Maybe we'll just get rid of, no, we'll keep the branch actually. So Carlisle, Leeds and Staveley, and then obviously same in reverse, but we're not going to do that because that would be a waste of letters. Seems okay to me. What we also want to do is now reallocate their platform assignments here at Leeds. So as you're on the southbound leg, you'll want to be on platform 5. And then on your northbound leg, platform 6. There we go. So let's close that down now. We can go ahead and purchase the trains that we want to operate this new service. So down to our one and only depot all the way down here at Hull. Buy vehicles. Multi-unit perhaps. One of those. The ones that we're using on the Sheffield line. We could go for that. It's pretty decent. And if we just have the single unit for now and run 2 of them, 27 million. Yeah, let's do that. Let's buy them. So you were the lighter pink, you're not the mainline pink. And you're going on the Carlisle, Leeds and Staveley branch. Away you go. Okay, so yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm looking to do today. I don't know if I'll do much more in this episode because I am constrained by time availability today, unfortunately. We might chuck another train on the main line though, because we need to do some, or increase the train size if nothing else, because we do need to do something about this overcrowding that we're having at all our mainline stations on the mainline platforms. So let's bring up our mainline trains. Where are you? North-South mainline. In fact, let's just get rid of everything else. North-South mainline. Let's use 2 as a test bed and see what impact adding the, what would it be, the 6th carriage will have. It's still rated as good, and by my reckoning, that is still a good return. Yeah, it's taken us an extra couple 100 meters on both flat and mediums. We don't have to worry about anything in excess of medium, I dare say. So yeah, I think we'll, for now, just increase the train length on all of our trains here. So that's all 4 now selected. We want them to have the mainline pink livery. So 1, 2, 3, and finally the Prince of Wales makes a full house. 7.2 million. Yep, we'll do that. And while that's not going to completely eradicate the overcrowding issue, it's certainly going to eat into it somewhat. Right, so I wonder if we have anybody waiting to take our new branch yet. No, we haven't. It might take them a bit of time to refigure out their journey paths and what is most suitable for them. Hopefully, I think I say this hopefully with a lot of hope rather than expectation, we don't completely kill off the demand on this one here and we have a pretty decent balance between the two. I think what we might do is add a 3rd train onto the Carlisle Leeds Staveley Thurrock Hull branch. Again, a bit of a mouthful, but we get there. Because we are calling, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 stops, well 8 stroke 9, 8.5 shall we say. Yeah, more than a few, more than half a dozen at the very least stops on this service, and 2 trains probably isn't enough. I mean, look at our frequency. They arrive just once a year. Obviously, a year being 12 minutes. So, I've had the date pause this entire time. Well, never mind, it's a bit too late to change it now. I think we will add a third. And yeah, just have a third one running that service. If for no other reason that they're calling it, as we just looked at, quite a few stations. And we want to make sure that our passengers aren't having to wait on the platforms for any longer than they really have to or reasonably should be expected to. So let's have a look here. So we've got 8 people waiting for the new service at Staveley. At Leeds we have, oh look at that, we have 30. And do we have any at Carlisle? We have 1. Well, 1 is better than none. So I think that's where we'll leave it then for today. We may as well take a ride on this new service. Don't have to pause the calendar because I never started it in the first place, did I? So yeah, the maiden, not voyage, the maiden journey of the Carlisle, Leeds and Staveley branch service as we depart the city of Staveley heading for Leeds. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, a bit different to the usual fare, but it is important, I think, especially because we don't have to worry about cargo operations. Spend some time every now and then just going over our existing lines and seeing where any improvements could potentially be made. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, all that remains for me to say is, as always, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.